So, tell me who you are, Dan. I think that's what he's going to need.
Bristol born and bred. Been living in South Beach, Miami for the last 10 years. Spent about 21 years in sales.
Okay.
Left school at 16. Did not go to college. Got struck into a first sales job, knocking doors, selling insurance at about 16 years old. I've been chasing the sales dream ever since, effectively, mate. Grew up in a council estate. Me and my mum, my sister, small little family. Pretty well traveled. Lived 5 years in Thailand. Last 10 years in America, and a couple of years in Australia.
So you're pretty well traveled. You've got that kind of, different cultures, different environments. So, with the HSE stuff, I suppose that's a big thing. So what is your involvement with the HSE Global Series?
So newly stepping in as the kind of vice president of sales is the official title. Me and Paul, founder, CEO of Health and Safety Global Series, we go back about 10 years. So we worked together in a previous events company where we formed a good relationship. Paul then obviously left, started HSE Global Series, which has been, I think, running for 8 years. I continued with that events company, maybe at the glass ceiling, and me and Paul crossed paths again and offered me a position to come in. So coming in as a new VP of sales to lead revenue, exhibition partnerships, sponsorships across UK events, US, Canada, Middle East, and Europe. So leading the charge on the revenue front, I guess, with some pretty aggressive revenue targets for Mr. Pagos.
So are you staying in Miami?
I am staying in Miami, yes. Recently just actually moved out of Miami. So I was in South Beach, Miami for 9 years, which was good fun.
I know what South Beach is. That's good, right? Yeah.
But now I'm pretty much in the suburbs now. So I'm about 40 minutes north of Miami in a little town called Hollywood. Bought a house with a fiance and stuff. So I'm still in Miami, but not necessarily the heart of it. A little bit more of a suburb boy now. But he's out
grow up and all of that. Yeah. Like, that doesn't happen in sales. You can't grow up completely.
I'm a bit of a baby still, but I'm trying to grow up. I think it's the way I'm saying it.
Yeah. So you so I suppose with you being based in the US and Paul being based over here in the UK, that kind of works quite well then with like delegate meetings, site visits, any of that kind of stuff. It's a lot easier I'd say it's a lot easier for you to get to different venues, but I suppose it depends where it is in America, really, because
we go better.
Yeah. It's not like you can just sort of pop into Chepstow from
No, I think the geographical landscape of me and Paul, because Paul's very much still involved in sales as a business. I mean, to be fair, build it from the ground up, right? I think he had a phone and it was in the back of his office or back of his house or shared or something. I think he started it from the ground up. But a lot of the growth was coming in through UK and Europe health and safety events. So they launched in the US, but then with them not having a sales lead in the US, it was a lot of late hours for the team here.
Yeah.
So I think it does work and complement it quite nicely with me being on East Coast time zone. Me leading mainly Canada and US based sales, and Paul's naturally built up an organic network of exhibitors and partners here in Europe anyway, which I'm still contributing to, of course, very much a global revenue target, but naturally, I've got about 15 vendors on the US event. So I think as a business, the company's got a lot of potential to grow in the US. I think we're launching a second event next year.
Yeah,
so
that.
Health and Safety North America will run twice next year, one in Q1, one in Q4. So that gives me the opportunity to double down, but also good opportunity for the business to double down as well. So I think geographics work well between us both. It's good. Other than when Paul rings me at 4:30 in the morning. That's not so much fun,
Yeah, it's a late night for him, I suppose.
4:30 in the morning. So with US is 5 hours behind the UK in the summer months. So it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
So he's doing his first early morning.
Yeah, I think sometimes he forgets and just gives me a quick. Why are you not on this? I sent you a Teams meeting. There's 2:30 a.m. for you.
Yeah. I get the feeling you're probably up quite late then. So
To be not, nah. I'm at 10, 11 p.m. Yeah.
So with so this your first event with with HSE then? Is this
No, it's yeah, effectively. I think I helped out a little bit as more of a sort of contract role. So I stepped in and helped them with the Canada mining event on a contract basis, just giving me some boots on the ground. And I helped a little bit with the US side, but this is my first official event kind of on the books, if you like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which has been great.
Yeah. So
thanks for hosting me in your home country.
Well, yeah, home country. Just sort of Chepstow's. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Wales, but I think there's a little debate of
I think
is it real Wales?
I think it's great around here.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Like
It's probably the last bit of Welsh before England.
Yeah.
And so it still feels quite English. Yeah. Yeah, I guess band then. Yeah, it's the English then, or the Sais, as we call them in Wales. But there are yeah, I mean, Chepstow's a beautiful place. I mean, it's, and the venue has been absolutely incredible. And, and it seems to have gone really, really well.
I think the weather's been great too. I think that these events, the English UK, whatever you want to call us, we always moaned, didn't we, about when it's too hot, too cold. I think this venue, this weather has definitely brought a lot of the energy, I think, to the event. Just going out, having the opportunity to go out and network on the patio with a bit of sun, looking over the golf course. I think it's brought like the right vibes to the event, if that makes sense. Whereas you go out, it's gloomy, it's wet, it's rainy, it doesn't quite bring the energy that it does. And I think it's made a difference, actually, the venue and the weather based in the UK, which is rare. Yeah,
it's been well air conditioned as well. So even though the outside, especially on Monday when we first arrived, it was hot. I mean, you were coming back from Miami at that point over here, and that was, even you must have thought that was pretty
sticky. Yeah,
yeah, it was
even
unpleasant
for someone that's used to humidity.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a worry on that first night. I don't know if I can do event floor in this heat, but actually the air conditioning's been great here. Everyone seemed really happy, and we've talked to a lot of the delegates, and the
venue's a big piece of an event. I think when you look at an event like this, the difference from a traditional trade show when you are just in an expo center with thousands of booths, getting lost on lane 272 to 9,000. We were at the booth 9,752, right? And it's a huge, bit of a zoo. Yeah. I do think that these types of events, one of the reasons that I jumped on it, especially with Paul, is the uniqueness of the event.
Yeah.
The limited amount of vendors that Paul and the team bring in. And more importantly, the emphasis on the attendees, but also we mentioned that the venue itself, it is in a remote location. It's off grid. It's in the countryside. You're on a nice golf course. That environment helps foster the right conversations, the right relationships. Whereas if you are just stuck, I've been to Vegas a few times at trade shows. You don't see any of Vegas, you don't see anything. You're just in 4 major walls for 3 days straight, walking up and down lines, getting sold to and pitched to. And I think that's one of the bigger draw cards for me to join the business, was the emphasis that Paul and the Health and Safety Global Series has built on the audience, the membership, the family. It's a community, right? And I think that feedback that they get online, speaking to people, even over the last 8 years of me watching the company grow, the feedback from the attendees, the delegates, the VPs of EHS for major construction companies, major manufacturing companies, them coming back from these events and saying, one of the best events that I've ever been to. Yeah. For me, it was a draw card as a salesperson to come in and think, if you've got the VP of EHS or the vice president of EHS, chief operating officer, the one at North America, I think chief COO of EHL, comes back and said, one of the best events I've ever attended. This guy's a seasoned guy, so thousands of events, and I think it speaks wonders. And again, one of the main reasons I jumped on, because I think from a sales perspective, you can keep that community happy, keep the attendees happy, they're in the right mindset, they're happy, they like the event. Sales, the vendors coming from sales perspective are chatting to happy, open-minded attendees, which may or may not engage with their solution, buy the product, integrate with their softwares and whatnot. Whereas those large trade shows, when their delegates walking up and down, they're just getting sold to all day. They're not enjoying the event. They're just getting overworked.
We came as a supplier. I mean, that was how we got into this. Was we were sold at Spark. Yeah. So we came in. We got a bronze stand 6 years ago, something like that. Yeah. So we came in from there and sold to by he will not be named. Actually, the person that we know in mutual, but whose name we're not going to say on the podcast. Yeah. So there was a contact there, and so we came on board. We met Ruth, who's now Netflix, but at the time was ITV that we met at there, and we did some work together, and we came away from it. And I said it on every one of these podcasts, but yeah, we came away from it with a completely different view of safety. But I think that what was really, really nice about that today, now, so we've spoken to Ruth Denya, we've spoken to Stuart Hughes from Mercedes Formula One, we've spoken to Gareth Evans from Yonder, we've had Anna Keane on as well, and it's really talking about, it's been nice. It's been really nice chats today about stuff, but I think what's been really key is the kind of the last segment of it. Naturally, I haven't been trying to guide you, but naturally we've been talking about the events and how it is for them, and these are all four of those people. Anna kind of excluded from that, obviously, because she kind of hosts,
of course,
leads the events. But if we just take the other three, they're big brands. I mean, they are, these are very busy people who will be getting sold to go to all kinds of events and have been coming back to these events for years, and really feel part of that community. And I spent a lot of time with, outside last night after the evening entertainment with that group, just catching up. And there is a community. Yeah,
it's crazy how much of a community has been built, and I think that really is, for me, like I said, I think one of the reasons I jumped on with them from the sales perspective is seeing attendees happy at an event as a sales guy, seeing people leave this happy, talking about how good the event was. As a salesperson, if you don't believe and see that product's good, it's hard to sell a product that, politely put, is not very good.
Yeah.
So seeing that, hearing it, feedback. I think I watched a couple of podcasts from a couple of attendees from the Health and Safety North America one.
Yeah.
Some pretty seasoned execs, and they were speaking highly of it too. So all around, yeah.
Well, what do we have there? So we had Richard Dunn, spoke very highly about the events. Obviously, we had Anton Moran and Stu Brooks from GeoQuest.
It's a good company.
Yeah.
He helped me out actually with a couple of different vendor relationships he did.
Yeah.
Give me a few referrals out to a few different vendors, which I'm still in pending conversations with. But yeah, he was a cool guy.
And they were really interesting, really, really driven, really liked the event, which was good. And then obviously we had Ariella Howard and Cam Stevens then as well on there, and did that over whiskey, which was nice. That was before it got too boozy. But
Whiskey and podcasts.
Whiskey and podcasts.
How do I get stuck with a coffee then? What happened there?
You was for midday. Yeah, that little Easter egg. One of the people on the podcast during this had quite a few drinks beforehand. See if you can work out who it was. There we go.
Have a guess. You said last night when I jumped on a podcast, I remember thinking,
going to be watching them all going, which one of them has been drinking? Yeah. But it's amazing. I think we've come back and we came as a supplier right until this year, so we're kind of still bought in from that side of things. We're still kind of from that's the exhibitor side, but we became part of this community, especially in the UK and the Europe events where we've done a few of them. That this is where I come and meet my friends, as far as I'm concerned now. Yeah,
plenty of clients at these things, aren't there?
Yeah, and I think that's the key with that. And when Paul spoke, he was talking about kind of the selling in this environment is different, and that's where he needs to change, just kind of get those two things to meld, the two audiences, and sort of support that. And that's something he's looking to improve. And don't be too hasty. I mean, I think that would my only advice to anyone doing this is, like, we were really lucky. We had the right information in the right place at the right time to land that first, really, really sound contract. We've done really well out of these events from a supplier side. We've had a lot of revenue from these events, but that just spiraled. It was one contract, it was two contracts, and then they started recommending, and that just spiraled. And at which point now, where we're at, has been because we've become part of that community, not because we paid to attend the event. That was, I think, the real key difference between kind of where we look at it now versus where we looked at it in maybe year one when we came. We turned up, we got a contract. Next time we'll turn up, we'll get a contract. And that has kind of happened, to be honest. But the amount of work that we've had from a sideline of just being part of that, joining in the things, sitting and having the drinks in the evening, making friends with people here. And
I thought I always meant to be one selling this event. Yeah. You sort of that job online. But it's good. I think even this, to your point, you being a podcast company and leading these.
We're not a podcast company. Let's just make that very clear.
Okay, so if I
Yes,
said
we
that,
do podcast. We have equipment to do podcasts.
I mean, the setup looks very professional.
So we are people engagement specialists. So I don't think we've actually ever talked about what we do on the podcast, which is quite weird. We just talk about our clients. So we talk to our clients and go, we work together. And I don't think we actually talk about it. So we support companies to make content, whether that's video or VR or podcasts or PowerPoints or whatever it might be, a better way of engaging with their audience. And we apply popular media methods and marketing methods into internal comms. So we help health and safety people do the same thing. We can use all of this research, all of this psychology, all of this time to sell someone a widget.
Yeah.
Why can we not apply all of the same knowledge, all of the same data, all of the same psychology to get people to be safe? And that's where we...
That's the important thing. I think that's just the industry and the focus of these events, with it being safety driven, is just you're generally making a change to people's lives. Some of the stories I hear, sitting in some of the content, listening to these workshops, and you're like, wow, like there's some real big incidents or real big problems where people lose family members and stuff like that. And it's only really when you attend these. I remember when Paul was first telling me about it, he's like, really just trying to make a difference. And you just think, that's just another CEO talking about his company. It's the best. We are different. Everyone says it. You're selling AI, but we're different. But when you come in and you hear these stories, you hear these use cases, these bad examples, that case studies could have gone wrong, but this was saved because this technology is proven or helped or whatever, reduced risk incidents in the workplace. It is a company, an events company that is actually genuinely making a difference, and hearing it and seeing it is, again, encouraging me as a salesperson to really get behind the wheel and start growing these events. But even this, let's be honest, I don't know, I attend a lot of events. There's not always a setup like this for people to come in, jump online, talk about issues in a podcast format. Right. So even this add-on, this value add-on is another key takeaway of why people should come and join this platform. Yeah.
Well, it's something for the community, isn't it? At the end, this ends, these get edited, they get put out. And so the event doesn't have to sit live where it is. The stuff from North America is still getting watched, and that'll continue to get pushed out, and so this will now join that. And hopefully we'll have a 2025 podcasts from, from Saudi and from Prague and from, so without your sales hat on, being in the room for the last 2 days, do you have any highlight moments? Were there any speakers that you were really, that's interesting? And I could be interested to see if that's a different thing for you to the delegates.
What's funny is when you're at an event, selling an event, leading up to the event, prepping for the event, and running around, just making sure it's running smoothly. One thing you don't often get to do, to answer your question, is actually sometimes go to sit and enjoy the content. But this particular event, I did try my best and actually sat in, I wouldn't say some of the keynotes or content sessions as much, but I sat in a lot of the small breakouts, more little round table sessions, which for me is where people tend to open up a little bit more. I think when you're in a large room, you may have a question, but some people are a little bit introverted, so you don't want to raise their hand in case they look stupid, so they don't want to put a question out there. I learned a few things from some of the round tables, just closed door think tanks that we were doing in the first couple of hours of the event. And one of the things that I took away from it was not so much health and safety related, but talking, access, communication, how to get the ear or communicate with the C-suite, the leadership teams, the chief operating officers of the world. And it was really funny listening to some of the health and safety execs talk about how hard it is for them to get the ear or the attention of a chief operating officer, because a lot of business are bottom line, quarterly revenues, product launches, marketing, profit, branding. They're trying to look the best, right? So safety often falls below that, which you've probably heard interviewing people throughout the course of the 2 days or just in general, but how difficult their jobs are, which is not easy when you're trying to keep a workforce safe or construction site safe or major construction plant and manufacturing plant safe. And you need budget, we need ideas, trying to get the attention of these CEOs. One thing I took away from it, which for them I felt a little bit sorry or bad, because you've got a job to keep people safe. If you can't relate that up or get funding to do so, it can be a bit of an issue. So I think that was one thing that I took away on how isolated they are as executives. And they're kind of siloed out on their own a little bit. So definitely one of the things I took away from this particular event for sure.
A little empathy for your audience you're selling to, which that's cool. That's really interesting. I like that.
Sales hat off that was as well.
Yeah, no, great. So again, I think that's kind of what everyone wants here, isn't it?
Yes,
it's that off. But well, thank you very much for
joining me. It's a pleasure to be on. I think you guys are killing it.
They're fake. Yeah. There's no sunlight in here.
It looks like a wedding photo, doesn't it, or something? But
yeah, on the wide, it actually looks like an oil painting. So it probably is worth touching it just to prove that.
Yeah, we're here.
It's
This is real.
yeah.
Thanks
But yeah, let's catch up at another event.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely,
let's do this the next time and see
Sure.
how far it's come from.
Well, it sounds like you're going to be at a lot of these now anyway, right? So with
Yeah.
you being at a lot of them, I'm going to be at a lot of them. So looking forward to getting to know you, listening, watching you put these together and working together, collaborate a little bit more moving forward.
Well, yeah, sounds good.
Nice one, buddy.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.